Good morning, everyone. This is Mr. Weatherman Forecast. Today's video, I'm taking a look at the depression of Celia and Tropical Storm 2, as you all know. Not only that, let's get started. So we're here with the radar, and as you can see, there is a lot of rain, but this is not what I'm expecting, because Montana is getting a slight risk of severe weather. Not only that, Wisconsin is getting severe weather events going on there. Now, without further, let's go on with a different one. So, on the Storm Prediction Center, so we'll see it. So, a slight risk of severe weather for the portions of Montana and Wisconsin, which is not really good. Well, if it's a marginal, no, if it's an enhanced or moderate, whatever you want to call it, this is what I'm concerning. But the slight risk probably not concerning me much. Marginal, same. So yeah, without further, slight risk. So for Montana and for Wisconsin, Eau Claire, Wisconsin, Great Falls, Montana, Wausau, Wisconsin, Bozeman, Montana, Stevens Point, Wisconsin is getting a slight risk of severe weather, and for marginal risk is for St. Paul, Minnesota. Yeah, I think for that's for no, I don't know if I'm clearing it right, but yeah. So all these portions for the marginal risk is in this thing. That's all the counties or areas that you're expected to have a marginal risk. Now for the tornado threat, for the 2% chance, Eau Claire, La Crosse, Wells, all these areas that are expected for a 2% chance of tornadoes, which is not really bad. But for the wind, it has not changed because 15% chance is for the following areas or counties that you're in. Now, just like in the same areas, there is for a 15% chance, again, for those two areas are getting wind. But this is not what I'm saying because on hail, this is different. Now, for the Wisconsin area, 15% chance. Now, for 15% chances for the same areas, only for Marshfield and Wisconsin Rapids, which are the areas that are expected with hail. Now, for day two, what's so you? And for marginal risk, the marginal risk is for the northern and the southern of North Dakota, the northern central and the south central of South Dakota, and a marginal risk for the northwestern and the western side and the northeastern of Minnesota. Now for tornadoes. Tornadoes is a 2% chance for all these areas for Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, Fergus Fall, Brainerd. All these areas are expected with tornadoes. Now for the wind. The wind is a 5% chance for the southeastern of North Dakota and the north and south central of South Dakota. And just like the same areas that are expected, 5% chance is for the same areas only for Duluth, Rapid City, St. Cloud, and Grand Forks. Not only that, this is a different type because on hail, it's a 5% chance now for Fargo, Duluth, St. Cloud's, Grand Forks, and Moorhead, just like these areas are expected. Now, for day three, let's see what's day three. Now, day three is different because day three is going on. It's stretching from down there all the way to Nebraska into Wisconsin. Now, this is not I'm expecting. Wisconsin is getting into the upper Michigan. Not only that, this is what's going on. Now, for the probability, it's a 5% chance, just like same for Omaha, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Lincoln, and Des Moines. Now, for the 4th and 8th outlooks. Now the good thing, no severe weather threat. Nothing for the 4 to 8 days. This is the most least concerning, unconcerned for 4 to 8 days. Now, if we're going forward, let's get started and look at the Atlantic at the 5 days. As you can see down here, there's the 5-day threat. Now, right here, there is another one. Not only that, this is what is going out. Now, down here, if you see this yellow X color, that is where, again, we don't know. I could say it could be Tropical Storm Bonnie. It could be from this one or the red color. What I would say would be the red color because I don't know if this could be it. But for now, I'm gonna have to know that this is the yellow color that is going on. So for the yellow color, now a disturbance to 20% chance of cyclone formation in 5 days. As 8 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Tuesday, June 28th, which I'm sorry for not saying the correct month. Now, for Central Tropical Atlantic, a tropical wave located more than 10,000 or 1,000 miles east of Windward and sorry, and okay, for islands continues to produce disorganized showers and thunderstorms. This system is forecast to interact with another tropical wave to its east over the next several days. Some gradual developments is possible later this week, with while the overall systems move west northwestward of at around 15 miles per hour across the central tropical Atlantic formation. 48 hours near low as 0% formation chance through 5 days, low 20%. Not only that, this is what I'm expecting. Now for the day one, this is what I'm seeing. Now for the day one is for the northern of Gulf of Mexico. An area of low pressure is centered over the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. Shower and thunderstorms activity associated with the low has increased overnight, but remains disorganized. Some additional developments of this system is possible as it moves slowly westward or west southwestward and approaches the coast of Texas during the next 2 days. Regardless of development, heavy rain will be possible along portions of Texas coast later this week. For more information about the potential for heavy rain, please see products issued by your National Weather Service office. Information chance 48 hours, low 30%. Formation chance 5 days, low 30%. Now, for this one, I'm expecting the 2 is a different one because the 2, I'll show you this. Now, for 11 a.m. AST, which I cannot identify, which I'm sorry for not knowing what time. So for Tuesday 28th, advisory for maximum sustained winds 35 knots, 40 miles per hour, minimum central pressure 10, 10, 9, 10,009 MB, and located at of 9.8 north and 57.5 west, and for the movement of west at 20 knots, 23 miles per hour. Formation chance for 48 hours, high 70%. Formation chance through 5 days, high 90%. Now this is what I'm expecting because of 2 click. This is what's going on. Now, if we're taking a look at this on the Eastern Pacific time, on the eastern side, there is Depression Celia, which is about to meet her end, which I got the satellite right here. There is Celia down here. It is about to meet her end. It's about to go down. And as I said, and yes, there's right here, there is that thing that I showed you earlier, that tropical storm, as I said, and as again, I will show you this one. Now, this is what I've been seeing. I said, whoa, where did this thing came from? Well, let's say this didn't came from nowhere, but this is going to show you guys. As offshore of 5 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Tuesday, June 28, 2022, offshore of southern Mexico, a small but well-defined area of low pressure is centered a few hundred miles south of the coast of southern Mexico. Thunderstorms activity associated with low has increased during the past several hours, but remains somewhat disorganized. Environmental conditions are forecast to become more conducive for gradual development during the next or 2 days and a tropical depression could form within the next few days while the system moves westward to the west northwestward at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now, for the formation chance is 48 hours, medium 40%, formation chance throughout 5 days, medium 15% chance. Not only that, this is what I'm saying. Now, Celia is about to go down because she isn't going to live for long. Now, for the Central Pacific. Now, the Central gladly is officially no new tropical cyclones are expected, which is a good thing, which everything is now calm. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. Now, if you're asking me for this one, but I'll show you guys what I'm going to show you later. So, let's go on with the National Weather Service. Now, the National Weather Service did issue is somehow a special weather statement for the for somewhere around here, which I cannot recall the name because I can't remember much. Now, it's a fire weather watch. A fire weather watch is now in effect for these areas, for all these areas that are shaded in the area. Not only that, this is another area that is as well associated with this one. Now, that is in Nevada. Nevada is getting some heat statements. Well, a special weather statement has been issued by the National Weather Service and a lake wind advisory. Now, this is not what I was expecting. Now, associated for this area, for for Hanford, California, this is what you guys should have been expecting: a heat advisory valid until 9 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time Tuesday. Now, I'll give you something you should do. Now, what you should do and what you should not. I'll tell you some few things what you should do and what you should don't. Now, here's the way you should do. Go inside, stay in an air conditioning room, drink plenty of water, dress for heat conditions, and reduce time in the sun. Limit outdoor activities. Anything else, you must stay inside because anything else, you can actually have a heat stroke at the time if you stay outside for as long as you can be. Now, what you should don't is never leave your children or pets unattended in the outside. Never leave them. Bring them inside with you because they could die from the heat. They can have a heat stroke. They could die in an instantly with this heat. Now whatever you do not stay outside for as long as you can be. You can have a heat stroke, and if you have a heat stroke, you should call 911 immediately if you have a heat stroke. Now, another thing what you should do is actually check some people or your neighbors if they're fine or not. If they're not, you should be calling 911 immediately if they have a heat stroke. Now, again, I'm telling you guys you should be safely inside your house so you guys don't have to go outside because if you go outside, you can go outside, but you have to limit your time. So, without further, let's show you what I'm showing. Now, I'm showing you guys on the National Weather Service radar. Now, I'm showing you guys, this is the radar. This is for KHGX, which is for the Houston area, for the Houston area. Now here, I'm going to show you guys something. Now, this is for a 101 atmospheric or weathering or meteorology. So, for meteorology, yes. Now, I'm going to show you some guys. Now, I do not want to get copyrighted, because copyrighted is associated with teaching or education stuff. So I will leaving up to you. I will not get copyrighted. So I will keep you down. I'll keep you guys down for this. Well, I'm stuttering because I'm getting scared because I can get copyrighted at any moment. So yeah, I'll show you guys some information. Now for this thing, if you see this green and colorish, like green, red, yellow, and blue, and everything else like that, that is actually called the base reflectivity. Now the base reflectivity is what you use. Now, not only that, this is what I'm using, a base reflectivity. Now commonly you can see in my live streams, like every time I can use my reflectivity, which since I officially or I don't have radar scope or Omega to use it, but I am trying to buy one in the future until I get my new computer because I have saved a few dollars for my computer. Now, without further, let's get started again. So, for the base reflectivity, now this is what you guys can use in case if you're in a tornado or in a severe thunderstorm situation. Now, this is what you're expecting. Now, let me tell you guys what's the difference between local and national. Now, this is the local radar, and as you can see, these pixels look very interesting because you can see anything you can see. Now, this is not what you're expecting. If I put this into national, you'll see a few changes. See, the pixels have changed, so that means it's non-usable. That means if you see this radar, and you cannot use it for your live stream or anything else. So you see the difference as I click back. Now I'll show you again. Now on the local radar, as you can see again, I'll show you guys, which I'll put it back on Houston. Now on Houston. Now look the difference. See the difference between this thing down here. Now you're gonna have to wait because this thing can take a long time. I am very like I can't use this radar. I can use only this radar just in case of thunderstorms or anything else. Now you see the change. See this? Before we put in back in national, this thing, the red colors weren't there. Now, that's the difference between radar and all these things. Now, now this thing. Now, I'll show you what the base reflectivity. Now, the base reflectivity with the velocity. This is what the associated with this. Now, the velocity. Now, what's so special about the velocity? Now, the special thing is that the velocity, you can read the winds, the speed, everything else. Now, you're assuming, does the green is the good thing? Does the green actually the lower winds, and the red things, or the red color, are the bad things? And what is the purple ring that is showing on this side? Now, we'll get to you in a moment. So, we'll get started with the green one. Now, as you can see, the radar is showing red and green. Now, if this thing is basically like this, if it's green, then that means it's towards the radar. So the radar is reading towards the velocity. So the radar is reading it towards it. Now, for the red one, it's actually now, for the red one, well, let's continue saying about the green one. Now, the green one, now, specifically, the green actually is reading towards, like, the radar is reading the wind towards it. Now, the red one, it is not the danger, that's actually not good. So, if you see the red color, it's actually going away from the radar. It can't show it. Now, for this purple ring, now, what is the specialty about the purple ring? Now, the purple ring is actually something that you don't expectly to see. Now, this only happens when the velocity can't really read, and when this thing can't read, and it can corrupt everything else. It can corrupt, which meaning you cannot be reading this radar if it has the purple rings. Now, if you see the purple rings anywhere else, that is actually unacceptable to see if you're in a weathering forecast or anything else. Now, as you can see, now if you noticed, if you guys watched anything else like Weather Watcher or anything else, or Ryan Hall or anything else, if you guys seen on the radar, now here's something else you might want to know. If you see like a red, like let's say for this second, this green color, you see this, let's say down here has like this blue or like this, like let's say this thing is all, let's see, I'll go back here because I switched the radar and everything else. Yes, I did switch the radar by accident, but don't worry, I will change it back right here. For the velocity is again, if you see a red, like a red colored or something else like that, I'm going to put it back here because this thing is not reading the velocity. Now it's again, as I said again. Now as you can see down here, if you see like, for example, there is a tornado down here for, let's say for Trinity Bay, and there's this red color, red and green pixel joining together, like they're just smooching each other. Well, this is what happens. Now, if you see a red and green touching each other, that's actually called rotation. Now, rotation only happens when tornadoes are possible. Now, this is not what you're expecting. So, as of now, I'm telling you guys, the purple ring is actually the thing, or RF, which I cannot pronounce what the name is completely. So, yeah. The red is actually what goes away, and the green is what goes into it. Now, the purple is what things cannot be reading and corrupted. So that is going to be today's video. If you guys like this video, please like and subscribe. Also, I will leave it up to you if you guys want to see more weathering videos. Without a doubt, let's say goodbye and have a nice day.